This is going to be a really crazy video. In this video, I'm going to interview one of my students who actually made $100,000 in profit in one single month. I'm not talking about sales here, it's actual profit, okay? So, I'm pretty hesitant of actually uploading this video to YouTube because it can seem a little bit fake. To a beginner who doesn't really know what dropshipping is or just starting out and never really made good numbers, those numbers are insane, okay? And basically making 100K in profit in one single month is just a crazy thing to even think about. However, this is real. We're gonna show the whole proof of the store, of the profit tracking, and of everything you need to see that it actually is real. And we're basically gonna talk about a lot of the things which you have to have in place in terms of your mindset to actually go to those numbers. Because to be honest, you don't really need more than like 20K per month in profit. With 20K profit per month, you're good, okay? You don't really need to keep going and it's very easy to get super comfortable there. In this video, we're basically gonna talk about why you should keep going if you decide to do that. So a lot of people basically say that it's the hardest to do the first good numbers. So the first like 10K profit per month is the hardest. It is true that that is really, really hard if you don't know what you're doing. However, it's much harder to get from 10 to 100K profit in 1 month because mentally you don't really need to. So many people get super comfortable and don't keep pushing, and that's why they basically don't reach those numbers. So basically I have one simple thing which I ask from you right now. Don't think that the whole video is just completely fake, okay? Don't go into this video thinking, nah, this cannot be real, I'm not trusting this at all, I'm not even giving it a chance. Watch the entire thing and decide for yourself. You're gonna see the proof, you're gonna see everything. And also, if you want to have more proof, I don't have a problem going on one-on-one consultation sessions where I reveal everything. I show you my screen, I refresh everything, I show everything you wanna see to understand that those numbers can actually be achieved, okay? So, without further ado, just let's jump into the video and actually get started here.
So we started the recording now. Basically, this video is going to be me talking to one of my students, Felix. He's a really cool guy. Basically, I started working with you. You can tell that. When did we start working together?
We started beginning of 2020.
Yeah. And you basically had a really, really crazy ride, strong ups and downs. And yeah, I mean, you can tell yourself what happened to you before you actually started working with me, and then what happened when we started, how everything moved. Because right now, basically, Felix is doing really, really good numbers. He's actually the first student of mine who actually hit 100K profit in one single month, which is even like crazy to say. And it sounds a little bit not even real, but we're going to show everything. So yeah, but yeah, tell your story.
Dropshipping, I think I know it 3-4 years. So in the first 2 years, I only watched it and saw other people make money with it. And then I tried to find a business model where I can be my own boss and earn more money than the average people. So, and I think 2019 I was starting, I tested, I tried to learn all the things, made a little bit money, but very, very less. And then I didn't know how to continue and what I have to do. And I tried to find someone where I can learn it, because there are so many scammers and everybody is telling, yes, I know how it's working, and yeah, you can lose a lot of money. And
yeah,
it's hard to find someone. And I found Michael on Facebook, and not him, a student of him I found, and I was contacting him, and so I found Michael, and yeah, he told me what to do and how he teaches all his students, and I was talking to him, and yeah, it was an interesting offer. And I said, because I really wanted to master this game. So every stone in the way didn't stop me. So I tried everything I could. So because of that, I said yes to this deal, and we started, and I did everything he said. Yes, and it was very interesting because the things he told me, most things were very new because they were a little bit different to the other people. And yeah, I started and did everything I could to make money. And yeah, in the first few months, I already had success. So the first month, 6 figures revenue, and yeah, I made the first profit, and it was a good
Was it first or
point.
second month? I think second month, right?
Second month. Yeah, second
Yeah.
month was running very good, and then yeah, scaling, and then next product and next store and so on. I always pushed and tried to get going, and yeah, was
Yeah, for sure. So basically, when we actually started, how do you remember everything? Like you did some money before that, but it was not really profitable, I remember.
No, it was
And
no profit. So
yeah,
we made profit before.
And then when we started, what would you say were the main things which actually changed everything around and got you to 6 figures?
I think the thing is that you know what is important. You know what is important to make profit. You can YouTube and learn how all the things work, but what is important to make profit? There are some things for product research, for store setup and Facebook ads. You have to know them to make profit and follow the right strategies. And
Yeah,
you know them, and I did what you said, and it paid off.
for sure. Yeah, but tell us how much are you making right now? How did everything progress since then? How much revenue did you make so far? And you can also screen share after that.
I made over 2 millions now in the last 15, 16, 17 months, I think. Yeah, and I'm happy with these numbers. I know you can make 1 million a month, but yeah, I always maybe I will reach it sometimes. But yeah, it's yeah, I do not have, I can afford everything I want, and I have freedom, complete freedom for the family and everything. So that's enough. So it's
Yeah,
always better, but yeah. So last month was very good month. Made almost 400K the month, and over 100K profit.
that's amazing, man. Show your screen so you can actually see that.
So
yeah,
that's screen sharing. So I think you can see it already.
Yeah.
One store this month, and I hit this day, last day, the.
Wait, can you scroll down a little bit? Yeah, just so you see the. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I can refresh, so it's no fake numbers.
yeah.
So,
And maybe you can also select just the last month alone.
Yes. So,
yeah.
Okay. And yeah, Facebook didn't make problems this month, so everything was very good.
Yeah. And also one interesting thing here, show us your average order value for a second.
Average order value is 25.
Yeah. So a lot of people on YouTube and in general are talking about like those super high ticket things. That's the best thing to go. Obviously it works. However, this is a very, very good point here that it actually also works really, really well to start with low ticket and go like really high there.
Yes.
But yeah, also go to the profit tracking for a second.
So this is here. This was the June. It was June. Already.
That's 50K.
So 50K, and next month, July, 105K profit, 27.5. Margin is very good. So optimized everything and tested a lot of different things and apps and upsell, cross-sell, and
Yeah.
testing.
Amazing. For sure, for sure. So is that all with one product, or do you have multiple products?
Multiple product, but yeah, most is from one product.
Got it.
What is this year profit? 270 is okay.
Yeah. So pretty good profit margins here on basically 1 million, 27%, which is great. Very happy for you. So yeah, when you started out and when actually the first couple of months started to hit where you started to make good profits, how did everything change for you? What happened then?
Do you mean this store or the first store?
No, very first time you actually started to get good numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little unreal. You didn't realize all this because it changes a lot. If you make 1,000 profit a day, it changes everything, because before you work 160 hours a month and you earn 2,000-3,000.
Yeah.
It's a very big different change, and yeah, you have to learn to work with this number. So you also do not buy all things you can, and before you earn 3,000 and you maybe spend 3,000 a month. And if you do it on this level, you get a big problem, because you have very much other costs and taxes and things, and you have to manage it. Maybe the next month is not that good. You always keep in mind to think in future and save the most of the money. So but yeah, it's very life-changing.
Yeah, for sure. And what did you actually do before you did dropshipping?
I worked as an engineer, but I didn't like it. So I always in an office, and other ones told me what I have to do. But yeah, it never was my thing. I always I was sitting in the office and thought about what can I do, what business can I start. So I was not good at this work because I focused already on my things I wanted to do. And yeah, I also had a side hustle job, and I always was working a lot on save the money and invested the money in knowledge and coachings and things.
Yeah. So what other side hustle jobs did you do?
Newspaper, put the newspapers to the houses in the morning.
It's crazy.
In the morning, and it's very long time.
Yeah.
To because family also, I have to pay all the things. Yeah, and the thing is, you need the drive, the willingness. I don't know how to say it in English, but you have to want it very strong.
Yeah.
Get the result. If you test and try, maybe this is working, I test it, then I think it will not work. So you have to go all in 100%. Then
100%. Yeah.
and always keep going and keep learning. Always try to learn more and continuing. If you stop or do it only so a little bit, then it will not work.
Yeah, 100% agreed. But basically for you, what would you say were the biggest obstacles in the beginning? Actually, before we started, what do you think? Why wasn't it working? And I think you already had other like coaches, and it didn't really properly took off. So what were the problems there?
It was no clear step-by-step way what I have to do and what is important. So on what things I have to focus, because I don't know, is it the most important to have a beautiful shop and a beautiful product description, or is it most important to have good Facebook strategies or good advertising content, or the product and the price range? I did not know what is important. And if I do not know these things, I have no chance to find to put everything perfect together to the
Yeah.
perfect combination. And yeah, you sit here and do not know what is important, and then you are always unsure what you have to do. And if you do anything, then you try to do anything and it didn't work, or it doesn't work, and yeah, this is it stops you. You cannot make.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I would say that's the main thing, to understand what the priorities are. And I'm talking about that a lot because it's so important to understand what you have to put your focus on.
Yeah.
And if you start putting your focus on, like, as an example, like making a perfect store with a perfect description, you should not invest your time into that when you start out. And it's exactly that. I think for you, I remember when we started working, the main thing was just the product research, right? And that was kind of the thing which was not the focus for you before that. And then we put the focus on there. And like, did you test multiple products before we hit the winner, or was it the first one?
This was the first one, but we had a lot of product and we selected very exactly. So
yeah, exactly. So how we do it in the program itself is always basically the student gives me, like, he finds all the products, and then I look through all of them and tell you, okay, which one is good, which one is bad, why is it good, why is it bad, and we kind of narrow things down till we have the best ones. And for you, when I saw the product, I was like almost 100% sure this is a really, really good product because it was fitting all the criteria perfectly. And I remember how in the beginning, the first like couple of weeks or a month even, it was working, but not like crazy. And you were not sure if we should keep going with this one or switch to the next one, but because I really, really believed in the product, we kept going with it. And yeah, then I think I remember it was the second month, or like almost the second month, when it started to really pop off.
I think the second or third month was over 100K, and it was, I think it was also a mistake because I had, I think, 2 ad accounts, and one ad account was banned, so the ads got stopped and they continued with the second one, and then I got the other one also back, and then I had double spend. And because I think I would not have scaled that much, but then it happened that I scaled, and then the number, was double the spend, then also the revenue.
Yeah. And what would you say are kind of the key learnings from the whole experience here? I mean, what would you say are the main priorities in dropshipping? If you have, let's say, 3 hours per day, what should you spend them on to actually get good results?
2 hours product research. So most important, and this was also the thing, I did not know how to do it. So I had no idea what I have to choose and how I should search it. So it was the main.
Yeah, 100%. The main problem is that people find 100 products and have no idea which one is the best. And that's literally the reason why we're doing it like that I look over everything, because for me it's much easier to find them because I have the overview over all the students. I know my product, and they add up. And if I see so many winners and so many products which don't work, I just see what works even more, and that was kind of very, very helpful. And when we started working, you were one of the early students, I think the first like 15 or something. So it was pretty in the beginning, but yeah. How was your experience from getting from like, because I see that struggle a lot. I see the struggle of getting from like 10 to 20K profit per month to even higher, because there the motivation kind of fades. You don't really need more than 20K profit per month. It's enough, Why do you? What's the goal here? What do you want to achieve, and why do you keep going here?
I always I set higher goals. So I think it's 3 years ago where I said I want to do 100 profit a month. So, and I had no business at the time. So you need to have higher goals, and I don't know, you need the self motivation. need to, I don't know, but if you have to think big, it's the thing,
Yeah.
think big, and then the mind opens for higher things and
Hmm.
other dimensions.
Yeah, for sure. And
You always if you see other bigger brands, I think, then and you make 20K profit, you have to put it in relation. You see,
Mhm.
you make so less money, so little money, and then you think, I have to continue. I have to scale, because it's always only because I think it's a lot of money. It is not
Mhm.
money. So
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure, for sure. And what were the main obstacles for you to get from like 10, 20K to 50 and now 100K? What did you do different?
Mm,
And by the way, sorry to interrupt, but you have to understand that this is a long process. As you saw, like said right now, 3 years ago, you had the goal to make 100K. Only now you did. It's
yeah.
not like a 1 to 2 month process where you make those numbers. It's not realistic. And that's also a big problem. People have false expectations. You had like the first product was a winner when we started. Obviously, before that, you had products which were not winners.
Yeah.
And also people who come to me, even then, a lot of times it takes a couple of products till you find that winner. It's not always the first one.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that if you have in mind that the process is going to take some time, then you're good with it.
Yeah.
And it's really important to understand that like it's not a couple of month thing till you hit those numbers. It's just not realistic. And everybody who tells you that is like almost 100% sure line.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I also, I did not work 2-3 hours a day. So I was always full time. So
Mm-hmm.
beginning last year, full time, and until now, I always checked numbers, and it's nearly the whole day you have all the things in the mind. So
Yeah.
the full time thing.
And I'm telling you already, like 10K, the whole dream of basically making like 10, 20K profit per month with dropshipping, it's great and all. And you can do that like later on, just working a couple of hours, but it's impossible to get higher and scale really, really properly without actually putting in a lot of time. It's not realistic as well.
Yeah, time and focus. You always have
Yeah.
think about what you can do to optimize, always learning and always trying. And
Mm-hmm.
you think it's not needed, then it will not work.
Yeah, for sure. And how long have you done ecom before we actually started? And how many products did you test?
4 months, I think.
Yeah.
And I tested 5 products, and one product made revenue but no profit, and the other one no sales. So
yeah, for sure. And right now, what would you say are the biggest obstacles you still have from 100K to scale even further?
I think it's I have to continue again to learn and to optimize and to learn more in product research and store optimization, all the things continuing. So I think there is no special thing with it, that if you have that, then you go higher. So you need to do all the things. It's and I think it's more difficult to get higher levels. So it's not easy. You have to optimize everything.
Yeah, for sure. And so far, from all the split tests you did, you obviously tested a bunch of products, you tested a bunch of ads, a bunch of like upsells. Where did you see the strongest impact in? What did you like, for example, if you make like 5K and it's doing like on a break-even product, what are you doing to get a break-even product to getting profitable? What's the number one split test and number two, number three?
Content. So video advertising, video content, and the offer. You have to test different offers.
What do you mean by offer?
yeah, price ranges,
Yeah.
different things with the
Mm-hmm.
price. And yes, I think these things mainly.
Mm-hmm.
Content is very important, and also the product. But if you have one product, you can optimize content and the price and offers. And
Yeah, and it's also interesting that you don't mention product page here again, because a lot of people are only talking about that. What do you have to say about like product page? Do you see differences? Because like I do see differences in conversion rates when I optimize the product page, but it's not that significant as if I do others to test. But how's your experience?
I think it's because the visitors already see the product in the video, and that they already know what the product is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they come to the shop. The shop description is only for knowing that they want to know that it's that the shop is not a scam shop. So it has to look very good and not like a scammy thing. So
Yeah.
and maybe they have some detailed questions, what size and how many colors or such.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the most of the product they already know when they come to the shop.
Yeah.
Shop has to be trustworthy. So look clean. This is the main thing.
Exactly. Basically, it has to have a certain baseline. It has to look clean. It doesn't have to look scammy. But over that, to go overboard and make everything perfect in the beginning is for sure a waste of time. Later on, it makes sense, but in the beginning, no. And are you currently testing? Like, how many products do you test per week, per month? Do you test? What do you do?
It's not very consistent, but many products a week.
Many products a week. So on average, how many would you say?
5.
Okay, so 5 products a week. So almost every day you test a product. And how is the ratio of winning products to losing products for you?
There are a lot of products where you make a little bit money, and yeah, most product doesn't work. So I also tested very different things, prices, and very different niches. So it depends on how you test. So if you select very precise, and then maybe the winner rate is higher. But if you want to test more broad, then you will have not that good percentage of winners. But yeah, it pays off, because if you have one good product, it will yeah.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I also, like, what I always were preaching to you is, in the beginning, we're very, very careful with everything we test. In the beginning, we're super, super selective. Everything which is not absolutely perfect, we're not going to test, because of 2 reasons. First, you lose a lot of motivation if you're a beginner and don't have a proven product. You know, if you are not 100% sure that dropshipping works for you for sure, then you're not convinced, and then the chances of you quitting are very, very high. So the first thing is you need to find some success. You have to understand, okay, dropshipping works. It's legit. It's not, everybody's not lying. That's the first step. And then when you start building up more money and have a couple of more products, and the first like 3-4 products you had, it was still careful testing. It was not mass testing, right? You weren't testing like almost every day a product. But then when you start to build up cash flow, when you start having more money, then it's not a big deal at all. And then you should start switching to testing whatever, and testing kind of like making your bar lower. Obviously not like every product, but the criteria still have to be there, but it's not that targeted. It's not a big deal if you test a product which doesn't work, because even if you test 20 products which are okay and only one of them works, you still make all the money back. And by the way, the same thing goes for content. If you, for example, like work with 20 influencers and only one is going to be good, it's worth it, you know, because you still made all the money back. I mean, you have to understand, you have to look at it like a little bit on a bigger scale, and not on one single product and one single ad. You have to look from kind of bird's eye perspective.
Yeah. Most people always, they try and then it doesn't work and they think they lose, but it's kind of investment. You always, when you test a product and it doesn't work, you learn. So, and you get always step by step closer to the winner.
So what advice would you give to a beginner right now? So if you're talking to a person who's just starting out, they tested, they don't have a proven concept, they don't understand that dropshipping works yet, they don't know anything. What thing would you tell them to, yeah?
First thing, they have to decide. The decision is very important. They have to decide, do they want to make this business until to a big success, or are they 100% sure that they want to do it? And if yes, then do it 100%. So this is very important.
Yeah.
The most one see that others are making money with it, and then they know it works. So it is something, it works. If other people make money with it, it is working. So then it's only the decision. If I really want it and put in all the money and time for it to get to success, or if you one student I recommended to you, he bought the coaching, and then he didn't do anything because he thought maybe if you
I know what you're talking about.
Thought it's maybe scammy, or he I don't know, but he didn't feel good with this business model afterwards. And if you feel not 100%, if you have no 100% decision, then you will not work 100%.
Yeah. That decision is actually a really big thing. It's really, really big, because when I look at almost everybody who succeeded working with me, I see how for them that's the thing they decided to do 100, like no other option. We do this for sure until it works. And there are some people who kind of got lucky and like who basically had the very first product immediately working, and then they kind of everything died down at some point because the first work is great, but then that was kind of a lucky win, and then they stopped because they're not really into it, and they made some money, everything is profitable and great, but they don't keep going properly till forever, because you have to like do it as long as possible, because at some point the dropshipping model is going to be way harder, way harder. And you have to go into the branding space, you have to go really, really proper with ecom brands. And until then, everybody who's watching this right now, you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for the moment that only real brands will survive. And at that point, you have to be a really, really good dropshipper, because as a beginner, you're not going to make it work with a brand. Like I'm telling you already. So
and they some people make a little bit of money, and then there are this person does this, and they see other shiny objects, and then they do lose the focus. And I also see a lot of dropshippers, they do dropshipping I don't know, a few months or a year, and then but a year is nothing. In other jobs and other businesses, you have to work many years. And if you do dropshipping or e-commerce many years, I think you have to continue. You have to, if you think 1 year and it doesn't work, and then I stop. So there's many, you can go up more if you keep going.
It's the expectations. The expectations people are giving, that is basically the problem here. Because if you compare going studying and doing dropshipping, if you go studying, you don't expect making a single dollar in the first couple of years. At least 3-4 years, you're not making money. Then you get a job, and in that job, you also don't expect to get the craziest salary. You expect to have a decent salary and then work your way up. So basically, it's like a 10-year process till you start making good money. When it comes to dropshipping, nobody, I never heard the answer of, okay, what do you expect to happen in the next 6 months or 12 months? Nobody says, I'm going to make zero, and then in 10 years, I'm going to start making money. That's not what people expect. And it's also not the case. You can make money, obviously, way faster if you do the right things.
Yeah.
But if you're doing everything by yourself, if you're starting out alone, it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time for you to get to the level where you can actually live from that if you don't have help from a person who already did it.
Yeah, and if you start alone, you will lose a lot of money, and it would be better to invest in the right knowledge. So
yeah,
I don't know why people are not comparing normal studying or other with the dropshipping journey. So if you compare it, it's very clear dropshipping is way more profitable, time and money wise. So
yeah. If your goal is to actually make a lot of money, then that's the way to go. If your goal is to become a lawyer or a doctor, by all means go study. It's better for you, But to go studying, for example, business or marketing, I don't see a reason for that. I normally how I understand it from friends and from people who already studied in business, it's basically you learn how you structure a company with 100 employees. So if you have a really, really big company with 100 employees, how do you manage them? How do you do bookkeeping, cash flow, and all of that, which is really important at some point. But to start a company, it's absolutely worthless.
Yeah, and you cannot study business. So you can study, but you do not learn how to build an own business. There are very different things you have to know, and you cannot study it. You have to do it.
Yeah. Agree. So other question, from all the products you tested, what kind of commonalities do you see in between the products which work? What do you see? What is has a more above average rate of working? What is your experience here?
Yeah, passionate niche is very good. So most products was in a passionate niche.
So not general products, you mean by that? Not like a phone case with no real passionate audience?
I don't know. General products, I think most people go to Amazon. So it also does work, but I don't know, the emotions of the people, they spend money, and it's one thing. You cannot find one word for it. It's every niche is different. For example, fitness is also a niche. They have a big pain point and want to get to another result. It's more problem solving, and that is working also very, very good. Yeah, but also if they are in a hobby, they have a hobby, and people are spending a lot of money for their hobby, and if they see a special product, then that it doesn't matter if it looks good for this hobby or it solves a problem for this hobby. Interesting for customers.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing I've noticed with you is your average order value for the products you tested is pretty good, because it was higher than on average. How do you structure the upsells? How do you what do you upsell? Do you upsell the same product? Where? Yeah, tell me about that.
And the same product works very good, but I also have a product that's perfect in addition to the main product. So most time the same product again, but yeah, you have to test a few different options. So same product that fits to the main product.
Yeah, and where do you upsell? Everywhere where possible, or how do you do?
Shopify, one-click upsell. I use nearly always, and then I also have a reconvert app and SMS bump and a few such apps, but mainly is Shopify. SMS bump is also working very good. and sometimes I add a chat app so they can start the chat, and it also looks trustworthy if you can chat on the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not a lot of things. Email marketing is also very important to install Klaviyo. Abandonment flows, they make the most money. And yeah, if you have a lot of emails, you can send campaigns, and they work also very good.
Yeah, for sure.
Email marketing is also you can do a lot of money with email marketing, but it's a thing that it's afterwards. If you made already money and have a lot of customers and email addresses, then you can email marketing.
Yeah, I agree. In the first couple of months, we didn't do email marketing, no SMS, no nothing, and it was still working. And it's really important, again, to have the priorities in place, to understand that the email marketing is great, the store is great, the SMS bump is great, but it's not for the beginning. It's not the thing which is going to be the game changer. It's going to make you extra profit. Everything is like 5% more profit, 10% more profit, 2% more profit. It's all, or like even only revenue, like 5% more revenue is great. But it's not going to make a break-even product become profitable. And that's the thing you all have to understand. You have to understand that no matter what you test, you have to understand. Like, you have to think first: is this potentially a game changer or not? Can this make me way more money, or is it just going to be like this little change?
Most times,
so you
have a product and it's working, it's making profit. Then optimize, then you install other apps to increase the profit. But if it's maybe if it's break even, then you can optimize and get to a little bit of profit. But then most time you will not be able to scale it. So maybe you make a little bit of money, but not that much. But if the product is working in the beginning without all the special things, and then you optimize, this pays off.
And are you currently, like, for all the products you're testing, is that one general store you're testing them with, or are you constantly creating ones?
No, it's different. So I have general stores and always niche stores. One product does it different things. But for testing, it's also not that important. The store have to look clean and trustworthy. But it's all, I think a lot of dropshippers, they always ask, what I have, a general store or a niche store, but it's not that it doesn't. I tested a product in a general store, in a niche store, and one product store, and it didn't really see a lot of a big difference. So
I have a video exactly talking about that. It's 100% true. So like the current product, the one you just showed later, like before that with the 1 million, is that a one product or niche store or general store?
It's a niche store.
Okay, and there you basically have one main product with a couple of upsells, and
I have I think 3 products that are working, but I focused on one, and
okay. And how many ad accounts do you use for that store?
I always try to have one ad account for one store, but I always have another if one gets banned. I can use the other one. But if I'm scaling, I keep it in one ad account. It doesn't make the big difference. So if you have one, doesn't matter.
So I'm a little bit more careful with that. I normally scale on multiple ad accounts. Just like in theory, obviously you have the whole thing that Facebook is bidding against each other. Like if you have 2 ad accounts or 3 ad accounts, they're like bidding against each other, and you kind of shoot yourself in the foot. However, you just diversify the risk, And if one gets blocked, then it's a little bit like worse. But you, like, right now, do you have issues, like big issues with Facebook, constantly getting blocked, or no?
I always have issues with Facebook always. So I don't know. Maybe I am not the best in getting a clean Facebook account. I don't know the one, they have no problems with it. I always with problems, but I don't know why. I think maybe there are some strategies to have not that big problems, but yeah, I don't know them.
Yeah. Yeah. But one really, really good thing about you I saw when I started working with you was that kind of you don't really you don't properly think or think twice or three times about one thing instead of just doing it. And I know I really, really noticed that when I told you something, you just didn't think, you just did it, and that was the only thing you did. You know, and you didn't also do everything to perfection. I see a lot of people have the problem that they make everything perfect, and it takes so long until they have their store ready, their ads ready, everything. It just takes too long. When in reality, the perfection in the beginning just has to come to the product research. The product has to be perfect, and that's it. So yeah, that's one thing you really, really do well, instead of thinking, just doing. You know,
it's I had this before I started. I was only thinking. I did nothing. So I did nothing, but I wanted to do anything, but I did not know what to do, and then I only was thinking. So yeah, I realized this problem and did it. It did it the opposite way. So I only did, and then
yeah, it was very noticeable. But the problem here, when you are a beginner and you're doing it by yourself, there's a big problem in doing that. Because if you do without thinking, without guidance, that's bad. If you do without thinking and without a person who's telling you what to do, you're going to run into a lot of issues. For example, you burn through a lot of money. You don't know how quick Facebook is going to block you, and that's basically going to be the end of the journey. Because one thing I can tell you is, if you get blocked, if you get 3 times blocked before you even closely had any success with dropshipping, you're going to quit. You're going to quit. You know, it's just too difficult. You have to find new ad accounts, find new solutions for a problem you never had, which is actually a pretty hard problem if you don't know what you're doing. And you don't even know if, when you get a solution, if anything is going to work. And it's a really, really big thing. So yeah, the point being is basically you either have to have guidance and then do, or if you don't have guidance, then you have to really think through what the priorities are again. And I would always recommend to have guidance. And I'm also having guidance. I had guidance always in every field, where I'm good at right now. I didn't achieve it by myself. And yeah, for everybody watching right now, if you actually want to have something like that, you can just click the link below and sign up for a free consultation session with me. It's going to be with me personally, not with any other coaches from the team or whatever. Basically, we're going to find out if it's a good fit, and yeah, we can see if we can make you the same success as well. But you have to do the things. You know, it's not a magic pill. I'm not going to do anything for you. It's just I'm telling you what to do.
I think because now a few days ago I got the email that I will receive the MDM zip with a one-click upsell belt.
Yeah, the $1 million basically.
Yeah, there are not many people that have achieved this thing. And yeah, I think you can show something with it. So the things I do, they are working, and
yeah, 100%. It just works. You just have to execute the thing. You know, if you execute the strategy, probably it's going to work. And again, I'm not promising to anybody that the first product you're going to test with me is going to be a winner, because that would be a straight up lie. But I know that I've heard a really, really good analogy about this, where basically, I forgot where, but if you are playing poker, and if you have one hand you play perfect, you don't have a guarantee that hand is going to win. You can make everything perfect and lose the hand. And the same thing goes for one product. If you test one product, you can have a loser even though you did everything right. However, if in poker you consistently play the right hands over and over again, you're not going to have the option to lose in the long term. Because every good player in poker is making money, not every game, but he's making money in the long term. And on a monthly or quarterly basis, he's profitable. And that's the thing you're searching for in dropshipping. It doesn't matter if you find one product and it's a winner or a loser. You have to just do the right things continuously until you find the win. And for some people it's earlier, for some people it's later. But yeah, it's just that the drive you go, especially if you have no success in the beginning, that's kind of the hardest case. It's like if you don't have the proven concept, you just have to kind of get the proven concept for dropshipping from other people. You have to believe that they're not lying. That's the first thing. And obviously that's hard because a lot of people are lying. So what I'm always doing is I'm always sharing my screen in the consultation sessions. I'm literally going to show you like a 6-figure month stores, like everything you want to see. I can refresh. I can show you the Facebook ads. I don't care what you want to see. I can show that to you. Obviously, like not current winners, but like old products. I can show you. I can show you current stores which I'm running without showing the product. It doesn't matter. I just want you to see that it's real, to believe that you can actually do the same if you do the right things.
Yeah.
Because that's just the first step.
Yeah, the emotional part is very big. So in the beginning, especially the emotion are very important.
Yeah.
If you can, you have to switch off the emotions. So if you work for another company, you do not think you work and you know you get the money. But if you do not know if it works, then you always are up and down with your emotions and you don't know will it be successful or not. And if you can, you have to stop this. You only have to keep on optimizing and learning and doing. Then it will come.
Yeah, for sure. And the optimizing thing is huge. You know, like when you have something which already works, when you have like I'm talking a lot about this first step of actually getting started and making the first profit. But then when you have that, now what? Now you have to really start. Like it's way more interesting to me, for example, to have a running store which is semi-profitable or breaking even, to get it to really profitable. That's the most interesting part, because there you kind of can be creative about everything you split test, and then you have to think, okay, what are the number one split? What's the number one split test I'm going to do, for example? And for me, normally it's going to be the scroll stopper, the ad, the price, and like targeting on the side, but that's just a side thing, and then the upsells. That's going to be kind of the main things I'm going to test first. And then I'm going to start evolving to like thumbnails, for example. Thumbnails are not going to make a huge impact, but they're going to change something. Then the captions over the videos, then the product description, then the pictures, take professional pictures. Then what else? Like the store itself, making a great logo will change something in some cases, but it's not significant. It's just like a little detail.
Yeah.
You know? And obviously if you're talking about like Nike, the branding, the logo matters, of course. Yeah. And there you were like running like logo campaigns, basically like you're showing your logo without anything, just on a huge dash, like on a billboard. And that works. But that's so many levels ahead. And that's also a big thing people are doing wrong. They're just listening to people 100 times. Like people, you listen to people who are 100 times. You listen to people who are 100x further than you are. So like so many steps ahead of you. Yeah. And it doesn't make sense to go to listen to that person if that person cannot put themselves into your position. Because for me, I had a point where it was pretty hard to put myself in a position of a super beginner. I couldn't comprehend how it is to not understand anything about dropshipping. And then it took me a couple of months until I could actually like adjust to that and really understand what they're feeling, how they're doing. And then it started to work so much better. You know, I also had a learning process with a mentor. In the beginning was not the very best thing, because I had a problem which I just solved and I wanted to share that problem with them, but that was irrelevant to them. Like if I figured out a new way how to increase your average order value by $2, it's irrelevant to a beginner, but I wanted to share that in the beginning. And that's why like I also had this time to adjust and to make everything really good. But now, because like I'm already doing it for almost 2 years, it's just completely different. And I'm also really happy with the kind of how the whole program evolved and everything.
Yeah, I think it's very important to, if you have a student or someone, you have to continue at that point where they are right now. So you have to think about what are the important things at this point, and then focus on them. And afterwards, maybe some other things are more important. And also later with branding and so on, there are so many other things important. customer lifetime value and customer satisfaction and such things to. It's very, very different level, but you do not have to focus on that in the beginning.
Yeah. In the beginning, also you get stifled if you think about everything.
Yeah.
You think about everything. If you think of what taxes you're gonna have to face if you sell to like a specific area, it's so many like little problems you would potentially have, which you have to solve now, you think, but in reality, you don't have to solve them before.
Yeah.
You have to solve them when you have the problem. Now, obviously, if you like, don't be stupid with that and don't like don't think at all. Obviously, you need to solve problems which are ahead of you. And for example, if I have a student, I know, okay, now you start to scale. Right now is the time to actually warm up the next ad account, even though you don't have any ad account problems.
Yeah.
You don't have that problem now, but I know that you're going to face that problem, and then it makes sense. But if you're just thinking for yourself, okay, I'm probably going to face this problem and this problem and this problem, doesn't matter. Like you first just create the store, find the product, create the ads, and then follow the process.
There are always a lot of people, they focus on so many problems that maybe can happen.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. In reality, they never will be problems. So, but they think this and this and this can be problems, but it makes sense. So if you want to get to success, you have to think what helps for success and not what can be a problem. So I always realize that there are so many, they focus on so much problems, and it makes no sense.
Yeah, no sense at all. And yeah, you just literally have to shut down your brain and just follow a strategy blindly if you trust it 100%. And again, like there's just one problem with that. If you follow a strategy blindly which doesn't work, that's not good. That's not good at all. Obviously, nothing is going to work. But if you are 100% convinced that this strategy will work, if I do it, then just follow it. Don't put in any of your little tweaks to it. Just do it.
At the beginning, I also think you are thinking a lot on and doing not that much because you are very unsure. You do not know what to do, and because you have no plan, no step by step, then you only think and will not do. And if you have someone who says you have to do this and this and this, and he says it very clearly, then you can. It's way easier to do things and not to think.
Yeah.
Because you're not sure, and then should I do it so or so? And if you have someone who says do this, then you are way faster.
Yeah, for sure. And also, like in the beginning, for example, for me, because I right now I know 100% that people are better off if they start working with me. But that's a pretty hard thing to convey. Like if I would just like constantly tell, okay, buy my product, it seems like it's hard to explain, but it's very, very tough to actually believe that, you know? And for me, I had this dilemma, okay, what should I do here? Because I genuinely believe that people are way better off if they do start working with me. Can I promote it like that? And for me, basically now the answer is yes. And even though in the beginning it felt a little bit weird, I just have to do it because I know for a fact that it will help a lot of people who understand that that's the truth. So if you are interested in working with me as well, click the link below, sign up for a free consultation session. I cannot stress this enough. If you do the things I tell you, it's going to work. If you do the things I tell you and execute the strategy, you will have success in dropshipping. Okay, so do that right now, and yeah, then hopefully see you there.
Yeah, and I think the results of these other students are why you should not. Yeah, it proves everything. So
yeah, and again, like. It's not just as long as you understand that it's not a magic pill which is going to make you rich overnight or in a month or even in 2 or 3 months. You're not going to be wealthy, like really, really rich. You're not going to be, you're just going to have the concept of what you have to do to become that. So yeah, but for you, we worked for a long time. It's not only the first program we did together. You kind of kept going with me together, and we started working like in the 1 year program, which is way bigger. And now it costs more than what you paid, but like still a lot of people are in there because like it's just a little fracture of what you make, you know. So what was kind of the deciding factor for you to actually keep going there with me?
Yeah, it pays off, and it paid off. And if you want to continue and getting better and optimizing and making more money, you always have to invest. So if you think you make money and then you finished, it's not. So always, if you want to go on, you have to give, and then you can get.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, I really appreciate it that you were here. Let's wrap it up here. It started the call started out a little bit clunky, but now it's turned out to be a really good conversation here. Yeah, thank you for having you, and then talk to you soon. Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.